Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to episode 30 of our SkyFactory 2.5 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So, if you recall, last episode we fought the Guardian of Gaia and made this giant-ass Draconic sword. It's like bigger than me. And just did a bit with Botania, a lot of the towards the in-game stuff. We still haven't beat the Tier 2 Guardian of Gaia. But I am happy to announce, if you notice, if you fly over here, the FPS drops seemed to have ceased. And I will say what ended up doing it, I mean, I still get a little bit of loading drop, but what really seemed to fix the FPS was down here. I've been doing quite a bit of work. I didn't get as much done as I had hoped. But I just put a drum. Honestly, that's all I did, was I put a drum here. Instead of having all of these piping up into this tank, I put a drum in between it to kind of create a buffer, so they're going to pump into that drum first and then out. So you just have one line of lava going into the tank, and that seemed to fix it. Like, I don't know, it was kind of bizarre, but I guess it makes sense. And so now our FPS drops seem to be fine. Now you will notice that this is totally drained out of lava. That's just because we're using it as fast as we're generating it right now. But that's okay. It is what it is. So this episode, well, first we'll go over everything that I've changed. If you'll notice, I did remove a line of those boilers. That was because I was messing around trying to get the FPS all situated. I did go through and I put carpenter's blocks on all of this. I need to still do the decorations on the front, like a lot of the fine tuning and stuff. I mean, right now it's kind of bland. I added the windows over here. I put a temporary roof on here. Now this, I'm going to use this flooring, I think, but not entirely. I'm going to actually use some other blocks and stuff, but it's not just going to be a solid gray to it. I also raised up the wither killer, and I just put all the block placers on this side as opposed to on each side, and I just did the repeater method. I did try it without the repeater because I had a comment saying that it wasn't needed. However, when I didn't use the repeater, it wouldn't summon the wither. So as soon as I changed it over, it worked fine. And you'll notice if I click this, well, maybe I spoke too soon. I have no clue. No clue. It was working. We'll put it that way. Okay. Let's try this. Damn you. Okay. Well, it was working, and now it's not. Which I've noticed some weird things about this pack. Like, sometimes I'll get on and some of my conduits will be removed, and I don't quite know why that is. But it does happen from time to time. That's like, if you recall, a couple episodes back, I was showing you guys where over in my Botania setup, my conduits started just getting disconnected. And when I got on today, oddly enough, okay, I give up. I'll fix it later. Anyway, it was working. And earlier today when I got on, strangely, these had all disconnected from each other. So it was just like, it would only pump down. You know, all these were broken as if somebody had come through and hit them with a wrench or something. I don't know. I've never quite experienced it except with this pack, but I don't know. Like, a lot of my piping and stuff gets messed with, and it's never the same piping. That's what's weird. It's like just random. But yeah, I did a bit of the roofing up here. Started working on that. I also changed all of this over from the Grimstone to I just did Skystone small bricks. Because it kind of keeps the same color. Now this is still Grimstone, but I did that because I thought, you know, I'd had a comment in the past about the Grimstone and the particles, which I turned the particles down to minimal, but it's still, I mean, we still have the FPS issues. And changing over to the Skystone didn't really change it, but I figured, hey, why not? We'll give it a shot. These are still Grimstone as well. And I think... Oh, another thing I did was I hooked up the mob grinder to the AE system, so it's actually running right now. If we go in here and we look, we've got quite a bit of ender pearls building up. You'll also notice that I moved the loot bag system over to here. So, you know, that's out of that area, and that's all plugged into our AE system. And it's pretty much the same setup, except, you know, of course, we're using the export buses and then an import bus on the chest up there just to import everything. But yeah, that stuff actually took longer than expected, and I did build this extra ender fluid tank over here too. So we're going to be using that today. And yeah, but I'm really happy to say that the FPS seems to be a lot better. Like, we're not having that just where it just drops and just starts chugging anymore. So that's always kind of nice. So the first thing that I want to do today, and you'll notice I did remove some tesseracts, so I've got some spare tesseracts, is I want to actually use one of these autonomous activators, since we made all those and didn't end up using them. And the other thing that we're going to want is a vacuum hopper. So just this right here from Open Blocks. And, oh. And then some essence berries. We'll just take the lot of them for right now. And I don't think we're going to make it quite that big. We'll see once we get it set up. And then we'll get... We don't have... Okay, I was about to say, we got to have Invar. We'll get a harvester just really, really quickly here. Okay. Oh, and I also upgraded our applied energistic system. Whenever I hooked the mob grinder up to it, it pretty much overflowed the system for a minute. So we had like no storage. And so I added a few more storage drives to that. And I actually added some decent ones, these 1024s. So I added 4 of those. At first I was going to do the top tier, and it was like, oh yeah, you need like 10,000 redstone for that. So that wasn't going to happen. Alright, so we got all of that. Got our harvester. Okay, so we'll just go set this up downstairs. And I actually meant to put the essence berries down before the episode, but it kind of slipped my mind, honestly. Because I was building and everything, and it totally slipped right by me. One thing I am going to want is some cobble. So I actually, funny story, I actually did this exact same setup in my Crack Pack series today. So if you watch that, I do apologize, because we will briefly touch on some of the same concepts that we touched on in Crack Pack, but not to the same extent though. So only like the first part of the episode we're going to be messing with this. So let's see, we'll build this out. I'm thinking like probably the same shape as this is kind of what I'm thinking. And then across. So give me just a minute, because I'm going to build this berry system up. Or no, I'll tell you what. We'll just go with one line. I don't need a ton of berries. I might add on to it in the future. But for now, I think one section of this will be fine. So we'll just lay these out really, really quick. and then we'll get all this plugged up. So basically we just want to automate liquid XP, so that way, you know, when we go to enchant things or do stuff with Draconium, because that's something, the second half of the episode, I want to try to figure out a way. I've come up with an idea of how we might be able to get a bit more Draconium into our system. So, you know, once we get to that, or once we get all that Draconium and everything, I want to have the means to actually... Oh, this is an even number, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll just set it up right there. Can I rotate this? I think so. Yeah. And... Oh, and you'll also notice that I did the grass down here. Traded out the cobblestone and used the grass. And... let me order some pipes here. We're going to want... let's see, we'll want... energy conduits. Maybe fluid conduits. I probably won't hook up the sludge just yet. Honestly. Probably not, actually. And we'll want item conduits. Okay. So we'll run the power line just up. Oops. And just plug that in, and then we'll run the item conduit. Let's see. Sometimes I hate trying to get into run those item conduits. I like to set them to extract, always active and stuff. So we'll just run this up. Oh wait, why am I running this up first? Don't want to do that. Okay, I apologize. Actually, we'll go ahead and put our fluid conduits down here. And I'm not going to worry about running our fluid into a tesseract right this second. I'm just going to set it to insert for right now. We'll end up setting up like an XP shower so that we can actually use the, like, get the experience out of the tank when we're ready for it, but I'm not going to worry about that right this second. I just want to start building up a buffer of it at this point. So actually I need to run these out, and we'll set this up. We'll set this system up just right here. And I should have actually, or no, I shouldn't have. I was about to say I should have made a Solignolia, but no, I shouldn't have. We're not going to need one for this. And we'll set up our autonomous activator here. So basically that's going to pull any berries out. It's going to insert them into here, and then we're going to set up a vacuum hopper. Let's see. Why do I keep moving those? We'll run our fluid pipes out, and we'll just set our vacuum hopper up right there. This is just, I'm not too worried about how this looks, because this is just a just like a machining area type thing, or basically it's not going to be a pretty area, and that should be good. So now let's cross our fingers and hope that our watering can actually works. It's not looking good. Why do these not work? Like, did they change it? I have no idea. Like, neither of these work. Like, it let me fill them, but as far as using them, and it slows me down when I'm doing it. Maybe it's a texture issue. Maybe it has to do with the texture pack. It does, I think. Because it seems like it's spraying right now because stuff's growing. So yeah, it seems like it's just a texture pack issue. I may end up changing back to Sphax. I had changed it over from Sphax because if you recall, I thought it might be the texture pack, which it wasn't. It wasn't the texture pack at all with the FPS issue. Here we go. We'll see it in action. Oh wait, I forgot to put the upgrades in there. I'll do that in just a second. But we'll go ahead and get some grown so you guys can see what it does. And okay, it should get that one, so, or that one over there. So if we give it just a second, it should harvest them. Well, anyway, assuming that it goes to the autonomous activator correctly, see if you notice it's going to pop them, and it's going to throw them out, those XP orbs, and they're just going to go straight into that vacuum hopper. And then they'll come up here as liquid experience. So, we will need to make an upgrade for that. It was, what, an 8x8, so we'll do a 9x9. So we'll just need a, I believe, iron upgrade, I believe. Which I might actually have some of those in here. Okay, I don't. I'm going to say I might because, oh, I do. No, I have silver. That's 6 radius. Because I was, working on changing over some of the tree farm over there. Why did I make 2 of them? I was thinking I had a planter to go with it. Okay. So we'll just set this up. And I'll keep an eye on it. I may just end up rewiring it or something. I don't know why it would be wanting to give me a hassle. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing we're going to be doing this episode, which is setting up a quarry, I do believe. So we're going to make an ender quarry just really quick. Oh yeah, I'm going to need the burnt quartz. We'll need some blocks of quartz. And it never does my tea. But I tell you what, let me go ahead and get this stuff prepped, because it's going to take a second, because it's like buckets of water, buckets of lava, and all this mess. So give me just a second while I get all this prepped, and then I'll be back when we're ready to go get the quarry. So okay, welcome back. I'm just getting the last pieces together. I got to get the ender cores, which we actually had quite a bit of enchanted books from loot bags and stuff, so that really wasn't an issue. I think I got like, oh no, I'm out of ender infused obsidian, of course. But that wasn't too big of an issue. So we got our quarry. I would like to upgrade it at some point to have the fortune upgrade. But until we get our XP farm up and going, you know, we've got a little bit of levels in there. I think like 30, but we could use our enchanter to do it. But for right now, I'll be happy with the standard quarry. So I was kind of debating between going and finding a Draconic meteor belt or going to the deep dark, but I think the quarry would be better suited in the deep dark, I think, and then just manually mine the Draconic meteors. So the next thing that we're going to want is oh, what's it called? I know it's the ender torch, ender marker, yeah. So we'll need to make a QED, which is pretty standard stuff. Let's go ahead and pull up the recipe here. We'll need a bit of this ender infused obsidian, so let's just go ahead and make a stack of it. And crafting tables, no problem. Eyes of Ender we've got, and then this, we'll need some more burnt quartz, which I went ahead and I cooked up a stack of quartz blocks. I just do everything in like stacks. Which, keep in mind, you want to cook this, don't put it on alloy mode, because I threw it in just one of the furnaces that were set up over there at first, that was set to alloy mode, and it just came out, I think it's maybe fused quartz or something, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't what I was after, really. So we'll get our QED, and then we'll also want, okay, we'll need some of these Ender flux crystals. Fairly simple to make. We'll go ahead and make like, you know what, we'll make 15 of them. Sounds good. And then to make our Ender markers, we're going to need Ender infused obsidian and then Ender pearls. So nothing too crazy. Ender infused. So we'll go ahead and grab a stack of those, and then 2 stacks Ender pearls. We're gonna make a bunch of these because why not? We have like all the resources in the world right now, so I don't really see a reason not to. And we'll just set the, I guess we'll just set the QED up here for right now, and we'll just set up our Ender flux crystals around this. Like that. That should be fine. Okay. And so now we'll throw in our Ender pearls and our Ender infused obsidian. It should run fairly quickly, because basically it's just going to draw power from these. Eventually we'll have a whole room full of these Ender flux crystals just all feeding power into this thing. It doesn't require RF or anything. It's really similar to like the lasers from were those originally from logistics pipes? I can't think of it. Or was it an extra utilities thing? I can't even think of what mod they originally are from. Okay, they're not even, I don't think they're even in this pack actually, or are they? No, they're not. Okay, so it must be from like logistics. I think it is. Yeah, I know this pack doesn't have it because I remember looking, because there's a really nice setup I love to do with AE with logistics pipes, but we're not going to be able to do it in this pack. So, but I've covered it in my invention series, so if you're curious, feel free to look it up. So we'll go to the deep dark and get this set up. And let's head on in. Okay. And I think we're going to want some torches. Our Ender Quarry. We don't have any cobblestone, do we? No. Okay, I was hoping to remember to bring some cobble with me, but that's fine. And where did my pick go? Oh, that's right. I think I threw it in the AE system on accident, because I remember looking in there and there was a pick in there that was kind of damaged. So we'll just pop out here really quick, grab that stuff. So we'll get my pick back, and let's go ahead and get like 3 stacks of cobble, because I like to build a little housing around the quarry, especially down here in the deep dark, because there's just monsters everywhere down there. I guess I should turn off hover while we're headed down the steps. Okay. So I'm guessing we'll probably just set it up right here, really. So we'll just set up something like this, I think. And why is there no monsters? I know why. I've noticed that when I set it to That's probably why I wasn't getting mob essence in earlier. I was in the test world earlier, and I've noticed that when I change difficulty in the test world, because I always have it on peaceful in there, then whenever I get back in here, it's changed, and I always forget to change it back. So I apologize about that. I don't know if there's a setting to where you can change that so it doesn't do it. If there is, feel free to let me know. But when I change the difficulty at all within a pack, it changes it for all my game worlds. It kind of drives me insane. Okay, we'll light that up all nice, and we'll just fill in the top here a little bit. I'm not going to fill it in entirely. And we'll light that up as well. Okay. And for the quarry, let's go ahead. Let's see. Almost there. So we'll go ahead and dig this area out. We'll set up our ender quarry. And let's go ahead and set up our tesseract here. I think that's really the only thing we're going to use, because I'm going to set up a frequency here. We'll say frequency, let's see, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11. Okay, so we'll do a frequency 5, I think. And we'll call it Deep Dark Quarry. And the main reason I'm even doing this, because it's not like we necessarily need it's not like we really need to have a quarry, because we've got tons of metals coming in. However, the issue at hand is that Draconium is something that we don't have a ton of. And Deep Dark actually has, if I recall correctly, you can get a bit of Draconium here. Now granted, the end is better, but there's no... The end without blocks, as it is right now. Okay, we'll set that... Would you get out of here? Okay. All these people. The end as it is, without any blocks, it's hard to find any place to really set up a quarry, unless we go kill the big Draconic evolution boss, the Chaos Dragon, and that's just not something that's gonna happen right this second. He's pretty stout. So we'll go ahead and set this up here, I think. And then we'll set up one more. Actually, that should be everything that we need. Do we need it in a 4x4? Can't recall. And I did just realize we set up the quarry, so it's probably going to... I can't remember if it digs the boundaries. No, it shouldn't, actually. So let me see. We want to take fence boundary. Okay. So we'll need... We need to actually bring this out. Maybe like right in here. Okay. There where that block is. Okay. So now we should be... Or is that too big? I can't recall. I think that should be fine, honestly. Man. Okay, give me 1 second to get this laid out, and then I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, it seems the issue was I kept messing with it, and I even dug out everything in between. I shortened the range and everything, but it's just I needed to set it on the outside of the markers. I had it set on the inside of the square and everything. So when I right-clicked it, it said that you know, it successfully found the barrier, and so now if I click it, it says 0 blocks have been scanned. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just plug up some item conduits to this. No. Or it pumps into adjacent inventories, doesn't it? Yeah. That's fine. Because that means we can just set our Tesseract up directly next to it, and that'll fix that issue. So go ahead and just put that there. And we're going to say send and send and receive. And let's head on back now. And we're going to get a, actually, tell you what, I don't happen to have some extra slots, do I? For this? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. So we'll head back up, and I think what we're going to do once we get all this set up is first I'm going to have it pump into diamond chests, and then we'll just set up a sorting system. So like cobble and stone, stuff like that, it's just going to get trashed, and then ores are just going to go in and get smelted and everything. So let's see. First thing I want is a chunk loader. I guess we'll just go with one of these. There we go. And there we go. And then let's get, I should actually have some in here from when I removed, yeah. I'd say from when I removed the whole setup with the mob farm. And can't recall, this one might actually not even need to be chunk loaded, because I know that it chunk loads the area that's working in. However, I'm not entirely sure if it'll chunk load without being chunk loaded. Never actually tried it. I've just always had it chunk loaded. So we might actually try that. We're going to hook this up to the deep dark quarry. It's going to receive items, send and receive energy, and then we'll just go ahead and, for right now, pump the items out right here. Just lay us out some chests. Okay. Oh, we're getting some FPS back. What's going on? We're going to set the priority of this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then we'll give it some time. I mean, if you notice, it's already building up stuff, so I guess we're not going to need to chunk load that. So we should be all right on it. And we'll let that run. So that way at least we can get some draconium, you know, coming in that way. And then we can also start going out to the end and getting draconium from there as well. So I'll show you an example just really quick. I'm going to go out and I'm going to find one of the meteor systems, and then I'll bring you guys back and show you that just really quickly. And Shouldn't take too long to find with this jetpack, so I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, welcome back. I flew out here just a little ways, and here's an example of a Draconic meteor system. So, the hell? Almost sounds like, sometimes it does that when the dragon wakes up. But anyway, and you'll find just quite a bit of Draconic ore throughout here. Oh, I guess that was the first time we ever mined it. But you'll get the Draconium dust, which I'm going to come back here. I may just throw together like a TC pick with Fortune or something on it, because I want to make the most out of this. And then here in the center, there's like a denser meteor with a bunch of Draconium. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this. And come back with Fortune so I can get more Draconium from it. So that way, hopefully, we can get into a bit more Draconium stuff fairly soon, because I want to get the helmet, because it does give us the constant night vision, which is really, really nice. So it's definitely something that I want to get, you know, before we face the tier 2 Gaia. And the dragon will probably be ready to spawn. If I would come and actually sit in the nether, in the end for a minute, it's just with Skyblocks, there's really not a whole lot to do in the end while you're waiting. You can't mine or kill Enderman or do like anything, hardly. So, but I might just throw down a chunk loader and chunk load where the dragon egg is, but we'll see. So, I'll be back in just a second. We'll check our quarry before we end out the episode, and then we'll call it. Okay, welcome back. So just in that brief time that I was out flying, you notice we did get a couple Draconium dust. And we'll just set up a way to go ahead and just trash all this cobble. It's not anything that we really, really need. Now the marble and stuff I'll probably hold on to, because we could use that. But cobble, definitely no. Actually, marble, maybe not, because we're actually producing quite a bit of that from our stone sieving. But some of the other things are a little bit harder to make, like andesite. You have to use like nether quartz and cobblestone, and really not an issue, but we might as well hold on to that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm going to end out the episode there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please comment, like, subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. And, of course, if you have any questions, let me know. And until next episode, do take care, and I hope to see you then.